Sean, checking in with some food log advice for the week. So I noticed you logged a wrap, and I want to say that was the day after the day that we had met. Maybe that was that morning, or after you left. So you did a wrap without dressing, so nice work not doing the dressing so that you don't have all those added calories, mainly fats and carbs that are in those. And you had provolone. So if that would be an area where I know you didn't probably plan the day in advance, but if that is something you know you're going to have, plug it in and see what else you're going to have throughout the week, because if you did it without the provolone, it would lower the fat content of that wrap, which you could make up for later in the day if you knew that you were going to have something at dinner that was a higher fat content. So that would just be one way to cut that back just slightly. I noticed you logged some whole milk. So wanted to see if you would be willing. One suggestion I would make is swapping out whole milk for an almond milk. Regular milk, cow's milk, is inflammatory on the gut, where almond milk, it doesn't have those. It doesn't have the stuff that inflames your gut. In a nutshell. So it also is going to have a lower calorie count, lower carbs. You're going to get a little bit of healthy fat in there from the almond milk. And then just make sure it's an unsweetened almond milk. It took me a little bit to make this switch from, I don't drink a lot of milk, but in coffee, going from a dairy creamer to a non-dairy creamer, which would be an almond milk creamer. It took me a little bit to make that transition, but it's less inflammatory on my gut, and I'm used to it now. And regular milk just does not set well in my stomach anymore. So see if you'd be, and the good news is if you're going to be the only one in the family drinking it, you can get it at Aldi really, really cheap. And if you're the only one drinking it, it has a pretty long shelf life. So if the rest of the family isn't, if they're not into it, you could easily get 1 carton of unsweetened almond milk. You can even do the vanilla flavored. That's still good. And it will stay in the fridge for a good 2 months or so. So, excuse me, you're not going to have to worry about it going bad if you're the only one using it. Also saw you logged a honey spread that had 17 grams of carbs in it. So I was curious as to what that exactly was, because that just seems like a high carb content. And then I'm seeing the water logged. Nice work with that, getting back on track with that water after the holidays. You had done some RX nut butter. So instead of doing that at 2 tablespoons, let's bump it back to 1 tablespoon to keep the fat content a little bit lower. Other than that, that's all I've got for you. Nice work. Good job on your measurements this past week, and hope you have a great week.